Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Stories for Sleep. I'm Simon, your host for the night. Tonight, we invite you to join us on a journey to a world of cheese, mice, and an archenemy named albatraoz. This is a tale of hard work, determination, and success, where the unlikely hero, a little mouse named Lorry, rises above her enemies and becomes the queen of cheese. As we venture through this story, you will be transported to a world of perseverance and humility, where kindness and honesty prevail. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let us embark on this journey of cheese, mice, and the power of a positive mindset. Here we go. Once upon a time, in a lush green meadow, there was a sneaky little mouse named Lorry. She was known throughout the land for her love of cheese and her talent for running a successful cheese business. Lorry had always been fascinated by cheese. As a young mouse, she had spent hours experimenting with different recipes and trying to come up with the perfect blend of flavors. And when she finally did, her cheese became an instant hit with the other animals in the meadow. Lorry's business grew quickly, and soon she had a steady stream of customers coming to her big brown house to buy her cheese. She worked tirelessly, spending long hours in her kitchen, perfecting her recipes and coming up with new flavors to entice her customers. And her hard work paid off. Lorry's cheese became famous throughout the land, and people would travel from far and wide just to taste it. Her money flow was steady, and her big brown house was always filled with cheese, both fresh and aged. But even with all her success, Lorry remained humble and kind to those around her. She always had a smile for her customers and would never turn away a hungry animal, even if they didn't have enough money to pay. In her big brown house, Lorry stored all her cheese in a cool, dark room. She would count her money every day, carefully noting down each sale and making sure that her accounts were always up to date. But even with all her success, Lorry had enemies. The albatraoz, a bird with a fierce temper and a sharp beak, despised Lorry and all that she stood for. He would often fly over Lorry's house, shouting insults and spreading rumors about her supposed witchcraft. But Lorry refused to be intimidated by the albatraoz. She knew that her cheese was the best in the land, and she would never let anyone take that away from her. So she continued to work hard, making her cheese with love and care, and building her business one satisfied customer at a time. He would flap his wings and caw loudly, trying to intimidate Lorry and her customers. But no matter how much he tried, he could never understand how Lorry was able to make so much money from selling cheese. Every time the albatraoz tried to steal some cheese, Lorry was always one step ahead. She had installed traps and locks to keep the cheese safe, and had even trained a team of mice to guard the cheese at all times. But the albatraoz was determined to take down Lorry and her cheese business. He would often sneak into her big brown house at night, trying to find a weakness in her defenses. But Lorry was too smart for him. She had always been one step ahead of the albatraoz, and was always ready to defend her cheese and her business. And so, the albatraoz remained Lorry's archenemy, always plotting and scheming, but never able to bring down the successful cheese business of the sneaky little mouse. Lorry enjoyed the fruits of her success, basking in the glory of her thriving cheese business. Her big brown house was filled with the delicious aroma of cheese and the sound of mice scurrying around, fulfilling orders and counting money. But even as Lorry relished her success, the albatraoz continued to fly overhead, proclaiming randomly that he was an albatross. His loud caws and screeches would often disturb the peace of Lorry's big brown house, but she paid him no mind. Instead, Lorry focused on growing her cheese business even further. She expanded her operations to include new varieties of cheese, and even started exporting to other parts of the world. Lorry's business became a huge success, with customers lining up outside her big brown house to buy her delicious cheese. The money flowed in, and Lorry became a wealthy mouse, living a comfortable life in her big brown house. Meanwhile, the albatraoz continued to fly over her house, shouting insults and spreading rumors about her supposed witchcraft. But Lorry paid him no heed, for she knew that her success was built on hard work, determination, and a love for cheese. And so, while the albatraoz continued to proclaim randomly that he was an albatraoz, Lorry remained focused on her cheese business, enjoying the rewards of her labor and the love of her loyal customers. Despite her success and wealth, Lorry never forgot her roots. She continued to make her cheese using the same recipe she had developed as a young mouse. Her cheese was renowned for its quality, taste, and texture, and people from all over the world came to taste her cheese. But Lorry never let her success go to her head. She remained humble and kind to those around her, and would often donate cheese to local charities and shelters. In fact, Lorry had never forgotten the tough times she had faced as a young mouse trying to establish her cheese business. She knew how difficult it was to make ends meet, and she was determined to help others who were struggling. Despite her wealth, Lorry lived a simple life in her big brown house. She had no need for fancy clothes, jewelry, or cars. Her only true love was cheese, and she devoted all her time and energy to perfecting her craft. Even when faced with challenges and setbacks, Lorry remained optimistic and focused. She knew that success was not just about making money, but about making a difference in the world. And so, even as her cheese business continued to flourish, Lorry remained humble, kind, and dedicated to her craft. She knew that her success was a result of hard work, perseverance, and a deep love for cheese, and that was something that no amount of wealth or fame could ever change. Despite Lorry's kind and humble nature, the albatross never forgot his grudge against her. He continued to spread rumors and lies about her, hoping to tarnish her reputation and bring down her successful cheese business. He would often tell anyone who would listen that Lorry was a witch who used magic to make her cheese taste better, and that her success was not due to hard work but to dark, mysterious powers. The albatross would also spread rumors about the quality of Lorry's cheese, saying that it was made with subpar ingredients and was not worth the price she charged. But Lorry's loyal customers knew better. They knew that Lorry's cheese was made with only the freshest, highest quality ingredients, and that the price she charged was more than fair for the superior taste and texture of her cheese. Despite the albatross's best efforts, Lorry's business continued to thrive, and her customers remained loyal. One day, the albatross's grudge against Lorry became too much for him to bear, and he decided to take matters into his own hands. Under the cover of darkness, he sneaked into Lorry's cheese factory, determined to steal as much cheese as he could carry. But what the albatross didn't know was that Lorry had installed a state-of-the-art security system to protect her cheese and her business. The moment the albatross touched the cheese, alarms started ringing throughout the factory, and the police were immediately notified. Within minutes, the police arrived on the scene, and they quickly apprehended the albatross, who was caught red-handed with his hands full of Lorry's prized cheese. He was charged with grand theft and sentenced to a lifetime in jail. The news of the albatross's arrest and conviction spread quickly throughout the land, and Lorry became even more famous as a result. Her cheese business continued to thrive, and she was celebrated as a hero for bringing the albatross to justice. Over the years, Lorry's cheese became even more popular, and she became known as the Queen of Cheese. People came from far and wide to taste her cheese and see the big brown house where she lived and ran her business. Her reputation as a cheese-making master only grew stronger, and she lived a happy and fulfilled life, knowing that her hard work and dedication had paid off in the end. The albatross was consumed by jealousy and regret. He wished he had never tried to steal Lorry's cheese, and he wondered how different his life would have been if he had just focused on his own business instead of trying to sabotage hers. He realized that he had been blinded by his hatred for Lorry, and he had never taken the time to appreciate the value of hard work and perseverance. As he served his sentence in jail, the albatross vowed to turn his life around. He started to read books about business and entrepreneurship, and he began to understand the importance of honesty and integrity in the business world. He even started to feel a sense of respect for Lorry and her success. Meanwhile, Lorry continued to run her cheese business with the same passion and dedication that had made her successful in the first place. Her cheese became more popular than ever, and she started to expand her business to new markets. People came from far and wide to taste her cheese, and she even became a celebrity in her own right. In the end, Lorry's success was a testament to the power of hard work and determination, and the albatross learned that sometimes the best way to succeed is to focus on your own goals and not worry about what others are doing. After his release from jail, the albatross realized the error of his ways and decided to turn his life around. He started a new business, selling nuts and seeds, and poured all his energy into making it successful. He learned from Lorry's example and worked hard, always striving to improve his products and services. But more importantly, he changed as a person. He made a conscious effort to be kind and honest to everyone he met, and to let go of his past grudges and resentments. He realized that his obsession with Lorry and her success had only held him back, and that he needed to focus on his own journey. As time passed, the albatross's business began to thrive. His nuts and seeds were delicious, and people loved his friendly and honest approach to business. Although he knew he could never compete with Lorry's cheese empire, he didn't care. He was content living his life on his own terms and making a difference in his own way. In the end, the albatross learned that success wasn't just about making money or winning a competition. It was about being true to yourself, working hard, and being kind to others. And while Lorry remained the queen of cheese, he became the king of nuts and seeds, respected and admired by all who knew him. The albatross realized that he had been living a life fueled by hate and jealousy, and that it had only led him down a path of destruction. But Lorry's success and the way she conducted herself had shown him a different way of living. He learned that success was not just about making money or being famous, but also about being a good person, treating others with respect and staying true to oneself. As he continued to run his own business, the albatross made a conscious effort to be kind and honest to everyone he met, just like Lorry had been. And he found that people responded positively to his newfound attitude. Customers were more loyal, and other businesses were more willing to collaborate and work together. Looking back on his past, the albatross realized that Lorry had been his greatest teacher. She had taught him the value of hard work, determination, and kindness. And even though they had started off as enemies, he knew that he owed a lot of his success to her. From that day on, the albatross made it his mission to live his life with integrity and kindness, just like Lorry had done. And even though they never spoke again, he knew that he had gained something far more valuable than any amount of cheese or money, a sense of inner peace and contentment in his heart.